That's why I was kind of like, yeah, I don't want to really save this guy. I don't need a chauvinist in my house.
So this is okay. Now I get it. So when you get into contact with a chauvinist in real life, you basically, when he is down and in need of help, you punch him in the face until he's dead. I get it.
You know, if that was the real case, I'm just saying, dear, if that was the real case, there would be a lot more murders at brony conventions.
Wow, that's a lovely thing to start. So, hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Keyframe, one about random drivel, and apparently about nice setups to murder people at conventions. So, how else was your week, Keyframe, except for those...
I actually want to go last for the week because my last week kind of goes into my media.
Boom, hi. So I have to start with my last week.
What did you do last week?
What did I do? I don't even know anymore. Actually, once again, not too much. At work currently is a little bit of a roller coaster, so those are things happening. Keeping one busy, but overall, what did I do except work? That's always a tricky question.
Did you play video games?
Probably at some point. A lot of... I rediscovered Hand of Fate, which...
What's that?
This was not intended to be my media, but I guess I can talk about Hand of Fate for a second.
Oh, let me just ask, did Yuri's Christmas sweater order come in yet?
Oh God, yes, it came. But
do you have it?
Today is not the Christmas episode, so you have to...
I want to see it.
It's literally not here because I went through my head like where and when do I need it, and the next occasion where I need it is first the Christmas party at work, then the AWKWARDcast, and then Gaming in Ties. So I left it at work.
So it's at the office right now.
It is at the office. But yeah, Hand of Fate. Ta-da! Not my media. How did it... I bought it a while back because TB, Total Biscuit, highly recommended it, and it sounded totally down my alley, what it turned out it was, so I started playing it. It actually gets a lot harder on the last few levels. I believe I'm actually at the second to last big campaign. But it got really hard, and as I usually do, I kind of got up on got focused on side quests and was more trying to get those damn side quests done instead of going back to the main campaign. But yeah, recently part 2 came out, and TB already was like, oh, it's an improvement about the old one, and then Jesse Cox did a Fan Friday for it, and I watched it, and he was like, oh, so I love the first one, oh, this is so much better, and I'm like, definitively getting part 2, but being the neurotic that I am, I need to finish part 1 first. Same thing with The Witcher. I have The Witcher 1, which I still haven't finished, therefore I never started The Witcher 2, which I also own for years now, and therefore I don't buy The Witcher 3, because I haven't played 1 and 2 yet. I'm like this. I am a little bit neurotic when it comes to this. So yeah, I rediscovered this baby in addition to Stardew Valley, where at this point I have my wife, my first child has just been born, I have a good running farm, my animals even reproduce monogamously. I had 1 goat! And today there was a message like, this night a second goat was born. Like,
where's this horror goat?
No, the question, it lives in a stable. It's more like it's like a one-cell being, like reproducing out of nowhere, like cloning itself. Like
goats are apparently the same species as an amoeba.
Or maybe it was a miracle reception. No, miracle.
Yes, the second coming of Jesus is going to be a goat.
Well, apparently in my gameplay now... Oh, I should have named it Jesus, damn it. I didn't...
What did you name it?
I gave it... animals get a default name. I actually had to name my own child. Like, well... I didn't get a default name. I needed to pick one. Like it was empty, and I needed to fill in for all the animals. I'm like, yeah, accept default name, whatever. But yeah, then there is a high probability that I might, as soon as it is the next time on sale, start playing Rimworld. Because this dude with the crown and the sword in the chat, the Crimson Tide TV, just before... oh wait, isn't there actually a YouTuber called Go Jesus? I believe there's actually a YouTuber called Gold Jesus, and I'm subscribed to him. He talks anime and stuff. But yeah, right before this show, I only realized when I tried to change this channel to talk show, that we do a talk show, I realized, hey, I'm actually hosting Hooray at the moment, so people actually see on my channel the thing happening. The only downside was that I was still in hosting mode. We got closer and closer to the actual streaming time, and it was still on Portal 2, and I could not edit my channel because it was in hosting mode. But yeah, this dude, the Crimson, the Thai and the TV, he played Rimworld with yours truly and this one up there as his colonists. And yeah,
it was wonderful. It was wonderful to watch.
Yeah, it is shenanigans and chew. Let's us say the shipping is real, and you all can go here, follow this lovely person, because then this lovely, and chat for the YouTube people in the doodly-doo. Go there, follow this lovely person, then you will not miss him continue this game in case he does it on stream. And also you can go there and watch the VOD about today's session after Awkward is over. So you have...
I had to get so much wood.
Oh yeah, this one needed to get me a lot of wood. And yeah, as I said, shenanigans ensue, shipping gets real, the usual stuff. So, great fun, can only recommend to watch, and yeah, I will get this game now, apparently.
You have a problem.
I do have a problem.
Play the games in your Steam library that if it's sitting there for a year before you buy a new one, you idiots.
Also, yeah, Yuri, you just missed intense plugging for you. Yeah, so this is stuff that happened. I, for once, was not out to the cinema because this weekend there was nothing. I have already seen all the movies I'm interested in. Star Wars comes out next weekend, so I'm already...
You're in the limbo of nothingness.
Yes, so I guess we all know what will be my medium next week.
I'm kind of in a moral quandary because I do want to go to the cinema this coming week because I'm not sick anymore.
Yay! Also,
Hooray.
I did it. You lazy shamed me so much on your Tumblr. Hashtag lazy shaming.
How does 2 pictures of me at the gym make me a lazy shamer?
I don't know. Ask all those people who sincerely go to Tumblr and complain to people and are like, stop posting sports stuff and eating stuff. I'm fat and now I feel like I'm fat. Like, what the fuck?
Like
either be on top of it and stand to who you are, or work out. Seriously. But yeah, so...
I've had people like that, and I'm like, look, I am not the peak perfection of what I want to look like. You really shouldn't shame this level. Wait a few months, and then you can have the right to shame me.
But yeah, you successfully lazy shamed me. Hashtag lazy shame. It's a thing now. I will make a trend. Everybody go to Twitter and post your own story about hashtag lazy shaming. If you can blame Keyframe, even better. But yeah, I did it. I took its virginity. I worked out on it.
I'm sorry, but after watching Big Mouth with the kids, I can't.
Why? Why did you destroy my harmless, tasteless joke like this?
I'm sorry, but you
I worked out on it, like sports, doing literal sports on it. Fun fact, I did the 10-minute workout thingy you posted a while ago on Twitter.
Yeah, the one that I use.
Yeah, you were like, oh, this would be, even for me, would be far too easy.
I did not say for you it would be hard. It's hard for me as someone who doesn't have a strong core.
I was in pain.
Oh,
the thing is, the truth is, she does 10 minutes straight focused ab training, and when you do I actually did some of the exercises more intense than she did. I mean, there's always the margin to the top where you can just do it more intense. For example, which I did not do yet, but to even make it more effective. If you have weights, just do, for example, the sit-ups with a weight in front of your chest. So you can always do it a level higher. But no, those 10 minutes intense workout were kind of intense. Especially,
yeah, I've been doing that for a week and a half straight already, so.
Yeah. I did this, link down in the description, and it was very painful. I still feel like I need to get myself, first of all, the bar for the chin-ups and a little bit of weight. One bar with maybe 30 or something that I can do the at least one-sided exercises and then switch sides or something. That as nice as the cardio training for the belly is, or for the abs is. I worked on those upper part, and I don't want to lose it completely. So
you need to get the squeeze thing that Deku has in No Hero, and just have that under your table every time while you're working. Just like, I remember things from My Hero. I did not just have my eyes glazed over watching that anime. I was exhausted, but I can remember things.
So bad.
It's not bad. I need to watch more of it. You have to keep in mind, when I watched it, I was dead tired watching it. So. Was that your week, darling?
Mostly. Playing games, hanging out at work. Not going out. Getting through the Christmas planning in Slack with my family. That's the usual stuff that happens around this time.
You're going back into becoming the Krendor of this podcast, and it's making me happy. Because now I'm back to being happy and emotive.
The one who actually does stuff. So yeah, how was your week? Shoot.
Sorry. The one running thing that's still here, because I just got over the cold, is that my nose is still deciding, hey, we're not going to like you. So, yeah. I'm going to go in kind of not chronological order with my week, because the last thing that I want to say about my week goes into my media. So, yesterday, I went out with my dear Abby Rhodey, my dear Lauren.
I'm still shipping it. I'm shipping it so hard, and now they're actually going out together.
We do say that in every way, but in any way but reality, me and her are kind of like each other's wives. We call each other wifey. Stop it! Put that smirk on. Stop that little dance. We are still very much straight.
Yeah, I guess you're straight with each other.
How does that even work if you're lesbians? You can't be straight if you're lesbian.
There's a South Park episode I can recommend.
Okay. But anyway, I guess it would be straight if you had a thing. But never mind, moving on. This is not the After Dark cast.
No, please,
anyway.
Please, continue planning what you're going to do with Lauren.
I'm not planning anything. I'm coming up with hypothetics. But, no, she was having
shit hot, guys.
Are you done? Anyway, it was kind of an impromptu thing. I swear to God, I will hurt you.
I'm just sitting here drinking my milkshake.
Okay, fine. Anyway, so it was an impromptu thing. She was not having a great week, and I was like, you know what? I'm taking my girl out for a night on the town to make her feel better, because me and Lauren live like a good 2 hours away from each other, so we can't see each other a lot. So we make it an occasion when we see each other.
Yeah, those long distance relationships.
Yeah. Anyway, we went to this place called Barney's Beanery, which sounds dumb, but it's really, really cool. Like, there was this entire store is like covered head to toe with like album covers, and all the tables are covered with stuff like pictures from Animal House and Toy Story, and just a mix of If you're a film buff or a fan of everything that's pre-2000s, you'll like this place. They have a double-decker bus in the fucking restaurant that you can sit in to eat.
Within? Okay.
And apparently they show anime, because we were about to walk out and we were like, is that anime on TV? And we looked, it was fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure playing on the TV. And I was like,
is this a JoJo's reference?
And me and Lauren lost it. And then we just kind of sat in her car and watched YouTube videos for a little bit, because we were like, we don't want to go home yet. So we watched the YouTube Rewind. I'm going to be talking about that in my media, because I have some words about the YouTube Rewind.
Fair enough, fair enough.
We watched it because I watched it, she did it. And I only watched it because the obligatory Tomska is always in it. But then the rest of the week I was kind of just working on stuff. Since I've been getting better, I was able to pump out some artwork, which made me really happy, because I don't think I really sat down to really draw since before EQLA, because after EQLA I was dead tired, and then I got sick, so it was like 2 weeks of just not doing anything besides doodles. So that was nice.
Yeah, apparently you made it sound too good. Death Alchemist now needs to know where this place is.
It's in Pasadena, California. Go over there.
And the name was?
Barney's Beanery.
Barney's Beanery. You heard it, guys.
Speaking of which, our waiter was completely stoned. I'm 90% sure this guy was stoned. Because the thing is, me and her ordered 2 burgers, nice looking burgers, and and he put it down for us, and we were like, thank you, and he's like, yeah, oh man, those look really good. And I just kind of slowly moved my fucking plate away, being like, thank you. Okay. He was in another planet, and I loved it. But then there was fucking, like, we wanted to get, you can make your own s'mores at your table, so they will bring like a fire thing to you to roast marshmallows and shit. That was awesome. But they ran out of marshmallows the one day we decided to go there, so we couldn't get it. And I kind of was sitting there like, did the fucking waiters eat all of them? Because all of them look like they kind of had the munchies right now. But this place is cool. I recommend it. However, the best highlight of my week. Dun 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 dun. I went to finally go see Hamilton.
Yay!
And this went. I told you to get a pick of Hamilton. You picked the right thing.
I know.
This goes into my media. I went to go see Hamilton live at the Pantages, which is basically the big theater that we have here in Los Angeles, down in Hollywood. It was awesome. I can no longer judge. I can no longer judge and make fun of ANY for buying a $40 button-down shirt now, because this shirt was $40.
And is it just printed on, or is it actually?
It's in the fabric.
Okay, that's good.
It's not. It doesn't feel like plastic on top of a shirt.
Mm.
It's a nice shirt. I like it. And also, just to make myself more trash, at the bar snack area that you can go during intermission at the theater, you can get beverages, and every beverage came in a Hamilton cup that you could take home.
I guess
I'm very happy about this.
I guess you probably could have returned the cup and got money back for it, but they calculate on people buying them.
I'm not going to sell that. That's mine.
No, but you got it, like bought it or something.
Yeah. And unlike someone who went to a store for a drink and went back with the cup,
I paid for it.
I'm allowed to take this cup home.
I went to Starbucks, I ordered my coffee, I got it in a cup like I always do. This time it was not plastic, but not paper, but porcelain. So I sat down and instead of throwing it away, I put it in my bag.
You don't throw it away, you just bring it back and they clean it so they can use it again.
Yeah, I'm using it again, so...
Anyway, but no, I went to go see it, and we had balcony seats, but it was like center balcony, so we could see the entire stage. It was amazing. It is so much better than watching the bootleg of the Broadway show, because on the bootleg of the Broadway show, everything's zoomed in so you see the characters and stuff, you know? Now you can see everything, and it really shows how much work went into it. Because when you just see images of the set, it's very minimalist. It's only like there's like this little staircase thing in the back. There's a rotating part of the stage that, you know, the stage is flat, then there's two little circle rotating things. And then sometimes they put chairs or tables according to where the characters are. But besides that, there's nothing else. It's only people and choreography and lighting. And there's so much to it, and it looks so cool. It's you get into it. And just also the little nuances of the actors really help it separate from the soundtrack. Because with something like Hamilton, if you listen to the soundtrack, you've listened to the whole play. There's no talking. There's no actual dialogue in the play. It's all just song going to song going to song. But with but of course with a soundtrack, you have to make sure you sound good as songs in and of itself. When you're on stage, you can actually put character to it. So, and it was fucking hilarious with some of the characters and how they would move and act. And the Thomas Jefferson that they had was the funniest fucking thing. Because he was just always dancing. He had this giant afro that he would be jumping around with, and he would blow kisses to girls in the audience and stuff. It was wonderful. And all the singers were amazing too. Because this isn't the Broadway cast. This is the LA cast, the touring cast. But they had pipes, like whoever played Washington and Burr. They had these moments where they just had to belt out a note, and they went ham. They were amazing. And I went with Brett, with Golden Fox and Katie and Will. They are, those three are way too emotional. They started crying. I didn't. I held in my tears.
Wait, who was the fourth one? Katie, Will, and...
Katie, Will, and Brett.
Ah, Brett. Oh, he cried with them.
In the second part where it was like the Stay Alive reprise and it's quiet uptown, after Hamilton's son dies, Brett was just bawling. He was like, oh, no, forgive him. Like, ah. And I'm just sitting here like, nope, I'm not going to cry. I am a strong woman. And then the final song of the play plays with Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story. I got a bit misty-eyed, but there was not a tear that escaped my eye. I was a man. But it was a great play. I highly recommend, because you're never going to be able to see it on Broadway. Not because it's closed or anything, because the show's consistently sold out, and it hasn't been unsold out for years at this point. But if it's touring in your country, if it's touring in your state, go see it. It is definitely one of those things that it is a completely separate experience seeing it live compared to just hearing the soundtrack.
I mean, apparently, because I might have saw a recording somewhere.
You had the recording on your desktop, actually.
But yeah, I can't really recall getting misty-eyed at any point, so I guess the immersion is a lot different when you are actually in there.
Well, yeah, because there's stuff like just hearing like Eliza scream after Philip dies and everything. It's just like, wow. And there's like my favorite scene staging wise and everything is Hurricane, which is like Hamilton's big number in the second act, right before he makes the Reynolds pamphlet and exposes himself for being a dirty cheater kind of thing. And all the lights go to like green and blue and purple and everything's slowly circling around him while he's in the middle. And like all the dancers are moving really slowly. So it looks like slow motion and it's just like, this is really fucking awesome. Like you get into it. And even during like the cabinet battles, which is between Jefferson and Hamilton, which are just essentially rap battles, like dissing each other. Like the audience was into it because Washington is like, "Are you ready for a cabinet meeting?" You can hear the entire audience roar with like, "Yeah!" And like when Jefferson insults Hamilton or vice versa, you can hear people go like, "Oh!" Like people know when to get into it, so you know who's a fan of the show previous and who's just going to see it for the first time. Because there was this couple, these two dudes next to me. Who one of them was like, "Oh, I can't wait for you to see this. This is gonna be great." And the person and his partner or friend or whatever was like, "What does not throwing away my shot mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, he hasn't seen it, has he?" And the guy's like, "No, he hasn't. He's gonna become a fan." And and then the intermission happened, and I could hear him asking, "So, do you like the show so far?" And he's like, "Oh my god."
But a great audience reaction kind of reminds me of a very crappy recording I just saw, I believe on Twitter this week, where it was Wonder Woman. And basically when she climbs out of the trench and is walking past no man's land and she's punching away the first bullet, the audience just wah, wah! And when she starts moving quicker, you hear them screaming like the audience in the cinema completely losing it, going in pan mode.
That's amazing.
I know.
In its own way.
Sadly, the footage was so crappy. I was like, ooh. But the atmosphere in the cinema must have been mind blowing. So.
Yeah, I love stuff like that. I love going on like rides with people who are reactive, or going to performances with people who are reactive. Because you feel the aura is contagious, and I love it. Like, because I've also had the opposite of those experiences where no one reacts to anything, and it dampens your mood because like fucking 2012, like way back before I met anyone, I went to go see Ringo Starr live in concert. I was 4 rows away from the stage. I was front center, 4 rows away. I could probably feel his sweat. And
you could throw his panties and he is close enough to catch them.
I'm not going to throw my panties at a 72-year-old man, Maximilian.
Especially 2012. How old have you been there?
2012.
That would have been creepy.
I mean, I'm 20 now. I must have been 13, 14.
Don't throw your panties at this age, girl. Don't do it.
I'm not going to do that.
Good.
But no, like I was there, and you know, I was having a good time, and I would be cheering, and then there was like these fucking old normies around me who are like be quiet and stuff. I'm not screaming during the songs, mind you. I'm cheering in between the songs like a proper person. Or when like he's like, you know, reaching out to the stage, wanting a reaction. And I can hear the people in the back rows screaming their heads off, having a good time. But these people who obviously paid more money to be near him are acting like old farts.
I just wanted to say, back there are the peasants who are screaming, but in the front row, here it's the aristocracy sitting, and we don't scream. We are here because it's a prestige event.
Yeah, I would believe that if the 2 guys behind me weren't these fat, drunk Bronx dudes who kept screaming, "Play Photograph!" at every
Play Wonderwall!
What?
Play Wonderwall!
I mean, I think during the time there may have been someone from Oasis in his band. So, because Ringo has this all-star band, so it's a super group of people from different. So, like, you'll have like someone from Toto, so they'll play Africa, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So it's like multiple people from the 70s and 80s, but if someone from Oasis was in there, and this would be 2016 or 2017 now, I probably would have screamed "Play Wonderwall" once for the opportunity. Because when will I ever get that? Because Oasis is not a band anymore, are they?
But I don't know.
Yeah, my side tangent of my media, because I talked about a good media. Now I'm going to talk about a media that I have mixed feelings about.
This one. This one.
Yeah, the
Professional
YouTube
as always.
2017. During the post show, I need you to watch it, because I have a feeling you didn't watch it.
Nope.
Yeah.
That would require me to care about this.
I don't... Well, the thing is, I want to see what they highlight, you know? Because at the end of the day, this is a big... It's on one hand, in the very fun sense, a celebration of YouTube. On the other hand, it's also an advertisement for YouTube. So what are they showing as their forefront of this is who we are? You know? So it makes me curious, as someone who works on major channels on YouTube. I mean, that's the big thing. On one hand, visually, there was a lot of cool stuff in it. Like, they had this one scene where there was this train. Everyone else moved in normal thing, while the train would be reversing and reversing depending on someone moving. So I'm going to talk about that after. And there was a couple things that got me to chuckle. Like, there was some cool things. The best part, which will lead into what made me feel mixed about it, was that they actually had a section for the animators. They actually highlighted the animation community on YouTube.
You mean the community? You mean the part of the YouTube community they systematically screwed over over the last few years with the algorithms and basically destroyed existences? That's nice that they think about them.
Well, the thing is, 2016 and 2017, YouTube animation on YouTube is actually growing.
I mean the worst parts where they kind of I have been told they went back there and fixed the algorithms a little bit so it's not so focused on quantity anymore. Because this was what killed a lot of content back in the day and what made Let's Players the giants they are on YouTube, because they went on watch time quantity. And somebody who can upload 1 or 2 hours of material each day, PewDiePie, obviously wins, while somebody who is working on a 30-second animation for half a year, animators, it's clear who is losing and who is winning there. But yeah, please.
But the animation community has been growing since this year, because you got some of the people who have stick since the old day, like Simon's Cat, which has been growing exponentially this year because they had like a Kickstarter or something to make a whole colored short film, and that went big.
Nice.
And then you have people who are growing because one of the big things is that there's a lot of more story time. There's an increase in animators on YouTube that grow from not just their animation, but also the personality behind the animator. So the animator is becoming just as popular as their creations. So you have people like The Odd Ones Out or Jaden Animations and stuff like that. And it's who are like now at 4 or 5 million subscribers, which is amazing. And so at the end of the YouTube Rewind, they did put them near the credits. That I wasn't too happy about that, but it's a start, you know. But they had extra credit. They had Let Me Explain or Rebecca Parham. Like a lot of people I watch. Jaden Animations, The Odd Ones Out, Tabs, and Ed's Alex Clark, and Simon's Cat. So they had 7 animators at the end, which, given how it took them super long to even get Let's Players in the YouTube Rewind, and even then they only had PewDiePie as the only Let's Player for 1 year.
Great choice.
It's a start. And
but you realize that YouTube is completely on the pulse of time in their own platform.
Yeah, but I can't help but have at least a little bit of a positive thing, because, yeah, there's a lot of problems with YouTube. I'm not going to be ignorant about that, but it's still a form of recognition to be included in that, because there's like 3,000 channels that have over 1 million subs on YouTube, and then they have to congest it down to who are we going to feature. The fact that the animators get featured is a big deal. It is something to be highlighted. That is something to be celebrated. And I'm also happy to see people that I watch get featured in there, like Philip DeFranco, who's been on YouTube since 2006, and this is the first time he's ever gotten featured. That's something. And Jack's Films and Tomska, and that makes me feel good. And then the one complaint I hear about YouTube Rewind it's the one thing I don't agree with people complaining is, oh, I don't know half of these people, so automatically it is bad. It's like, maybe it's just not the type of content you watch, but that doesn't mean that they are not working just as hard as the YouTubers that you watch. Because it's like, we all watch different things, and there's also international audiences, so some people watch stuff that is dependent on their region, and like, I don't watch a lot of vloggers. Some people find a lot of enjoyment out of vlogs, so I'm not going to hate people that obviously have an audience to be featured here and say, oh, this is actually a problem with YouTube Rewind. No, the problem is just we have a lot of fucking people, But the thing that I feel mixed messages about when it comes to YouTube Rewind, especially this year, is something that I found out after YouTube Rewind, and it also revolves around the animators. So apparently they gave the animators 2 weeks to make their animations for YouTube Rewind, and they didn't pay them. And then Rebecca Parham, who's someone who was featured, she made a video talking about how she was featured in YouTube Rewind, it was a happy video, and she showed some of the work in progress of the animations and stuff like that, and directed it to YouTube Rewind, and they demonetized the video.
Yeah.
Even after manual review.
So I guess this is maybe more fitting.
Yeah. So that was something that I didn't like, and I mean, some of the stuff, like they had Jake Paul and Logan, the meme cancer and all that stuff. Fidget spinners were something that was very prevalent in that fucking Rewind, but I got a good laugh out of it because I like trash like that in the ironic sense. And then there was also the editing was just bad in the way that everything moves so fucking quickly you can barely see anyone. And it's just like, I understand you have to fit a lot of people into it, but you can hold a shot for 5 seconds for us to actually make out the people's faces. But the one scene I will say that was actually pretty good. They had a scene where it was a graveyard full of dead memes. And then and there was 2 zombies that came up out of the ground and started singing All Star, and then 2 other zombies fell into a grave that was dabbing. Which, first of all, dabbing ain't dead. That is not a dead meme yet. People just want it to be.
Including yourself, I assume.
To myself, I have a lot of fun with it. But I can totally understand why apparently the YouTube Rewind has over 1 million dislikes right now on YouTube. And it's like, ooh, to 2 million dislikes. So that's a 50-50 ratio,
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, those were my 2 medias. One from my job of being a YouTube thing, and one from being trash. So,
but yeah, I guess we can watch Rewind on the doing the post show.
Yes.
Yeah. Where did I lose mine? Oh, there it is. Fine. So yeah, this is standing for 2 things at once. First of all, I finally caught up to South Park. I realized that I have not seen the last 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of behind on it. And as a conclusion, after finishing season 21 yesterday, I believe. I also followed up with a bunch of Wisecrack videos about it, including this specific one, which also will be linked down below.
In the doobly-doo.
In the doobly-doo. I believe I believe season 19 was 19 the first one where they turned it into an ongoing storyline, and they basically continued with it throughout 20 and 21.
Season 19 when they brought in PC Principal or something?
Yep, that's it. 19 was the one with PC culture and advertisements. 20 was the one with the election and the aftermath. And 21 was the one about relationships in part. How could you describe the theme of season 21? But yeah, the interesting thing was going through it because trolling was also a part of season 20. I'm really considering that I watched it over the last few days. It's probably not the best sign that I have so big problems remembering details.
Was it just? I haven't caught up to South Park. I've watched bits and pieces, but I have not caught up. So is it that bad?
No, not that bad. The funny thing is what Wisecrack explains in this particular video, which is up here, is the fact that South Park the producers were completely convinced that Hillary would win and not Trump. So they created a story arc that would lead up to basically Hillary winning, and the second half of the season was planned out on this premise. Now, there happened a certain thing at the end of 2016 that threw them for a loop. And in hindsight, I actually recall that there were some scenes that didn't really make a lot of sense anymore. And that it was... But the problem was that I binge-watched it because, I was 2 seasons behind. So I did not really stop too much and think about individual episodes or individual happenings. But in hindsight, I can clearly see, second half of season 20 was kind of weird, and having this knowledge now that they bet on the wrong they bet on the wrong horse or donkey or elephant or whatever you want to call it in American politics, because one of your big parties is an ass going by their mascot. Like, what?
Yeah,
I mean,
Democrats are donkeys, Republicans are elephants.
Yeah, but I mean, elephant, strong, mighty, beast. I can see how this is a good mascot for a political party. With the donkey, I don't know. I mean,
there has to be a reason, a reasoning to why the Democrat thing is a donkey that's maybe working hard or something like that, because donkeys are workhorses.
That's true, but they are more noble workhorses.
Continue your tangent. I'm gonna do some investigative journalism.
Perfect. But yeah, overall, I have to say I do like the fact that South Park. Because South Park has been running for, 17, 18... I mean, they started building continuity. They started building up a continuity a little bit before 19, 17, 18. Some of the earlier seasons, they actually started with continuity. I recall that over multiple episodes, the kids were building... the 4 main kids were building up to something, which then imploded, and they returned to school. People were like, you're now back with us. I believe they tried to start their own startup business or something. Reason. Well, was disappointed with season 21 when Kyle isn't the true antagonist of the recent season all along. But in general, the show was going on for very long, and I recall that I already enjoyed the fact that they started to build in more continuity and that they took it to the next level, starting with season 19. Obviously, season 20 went so well, but I personally have always been a fan of more shows with a continuity. I mean, serialized shows like where all episodes are interchangeable and stuff, it's okay. It has absolutely its purpose. But yeah, I do like it when you actually have a reason to watch an episode, when it's an ongoing storyline, when you have to watch one episode after another to get the whole picture. Another thing that I really liked about season 21, once again, kind of highlighted due to Wisecrack, but in a different video than this one, obviously. South Park is actually not doing the one thing that pisses me personally off about current media coverage about what's going on there politically, because you basically all those big media are YouTubers are not better, most of them. Everybody has their party they are voting for, and they are like, whatever their own people do, they praise to high heavens. There is no criticism whatsoever for their own people, while on the other hand, they make a big fuss about every so tiny thing about the opposite side, like trash talking them for the stupidest reason, which is, by the way, Tommy Oliver did a video about this quite recently. I will link this down in the description below, where he
why political parties are stupid.
Yes, where he also stayed mostly neutral to the debate himself, where he was also like, it's stupid that people nowadays treat political parties like sports team, like I am on Team Democrat or I am on Team Republican, and therefore I want my team to win. Politics is not about winning. Politics is about representation of, especially in the democracy, is about representation of the wishes and the needs of the people as a whole, and as a representative. You literally call them that. As a representative, you are there to represent your people and not just to win. And yeah, I can only highly recommend to check out this video. Once again, I will link it down below. Chat people, you can basically go to my Twitter. I liked it somewhere there. Or wait for the YouTube upload. It should be up tomorrow. Yeah, he had some very smart words to say about them, which I will not re-narrate all. Then you don't need to watch the video anymore.
But I've never leaned towards a political party. I've just always been like, just do the right thing for the populace, you know?
I mean, here's the fun thing about me, or why we are talking politics, or political decision making, let's put it like this. I kind of did, when I was younger, try to identify with parties, or had my prejudice against other parties. And we have let's get a little bit more concrete. Here in Germany we have the SPD, Social Party Deutschland, Germany, and I was also, in the past I was kind of looking down a little bit of them because they were a little bit too left, too socialistic, whatever, for my taste. We here in Germany we have this. We have also, first of all, we don't have two parties only. We have, like, depending on how elections go, 5 to 6 parties who actually make our government. We have bigger ones, yes, and we have smaller ones, but we have actually coalitions going on, and therefore you can better create tendencies. Which I have to say, yes, it comes at the cost of lack of efficiency, but it is a fairer representation of people's will, because you don't just have Democrats or Republicans and then you good luck choosing. It's more nuanced. Nuance is good. Yeah, but the thing is, we have this creation which is called Wahlomat, which basically boils down to Votomat, where all political parties got basically a bunch of current political topics, and they can, first of all, a statement to a political topic where they are like agree, disagree, or withhold an answer, or be neutral about it. So those were the 4 options. Like, yes, we agree, no, we disagree, we are neutral on it, or they literally did not give an answer. And and they also have the chance to comment on why they chose how they chose, and all the good parties actually leave a little bit of an explanation for it. And you as a voter go to this page, you basically get the same questions, you give your same answers, and then you can be like, okay, show me which party actually represents my needs, represents, you hear the word again, which political party actually represents what I want. And yeah, then when I did this a while ago, and I had absolutely overlapping my own opinion aligned the best with SPD, and I was like, looks like I just turned into an SPD voter. Oopsie. But yeah, I went through with it because they, at this point in time, have been the party which represented me the best. I went with an objective assessment of, okay, who actually does what I want? And not like, my party has to win. Protected environment areas get thrown out of the window. Forget about this. Talking about it. Okay, season 21, South Park. First of all, what they did, they took a meta level. I mean, you still can tell that they are anti-Trump, but they don't focus on it. They don't do what all the mainstream media do, like take a side and hammer it home. On the contrary, they actually take their time and show the other side. They show characters who are who in season 20 were Republican voters, and you see how they feel like uncomfortable about certain events. They show how they create an analogy between Trump supporters and spoilers? Eric Cartman's girlfriend, dum dum dum, who is, big twist, in an abusive relationship with Eric, and people go to her and ask her, what do you see in him? Why is it? How can you stand him? You must know that he is bad. And then she's like making excuses, and then cut to the White House, where basically the Republicans are in front of a camera and give very similar answers, like drawing and the episode is called Doubling Down, where it is about, if you start nagging them, like making fun of them, making told you so, you are only making them double down on their position and be like, no, I actually stand by him. That this extremism that the media create is counterproductive. What I like about South Park, and I guess I put the second Wisecrack episode in the description as well, is the meta approach, that they criticize all sides, that they are not limited to just criticizing the side that they are against, because they could just make an entire season about Trump bashing, like all the Last Week Tonights and daily shows do, and I can barely watch them anymore because of it. It's and that's something I have to say. Good job, South Park. All the stuff down below, and I'm done with my media. I'm so done.
Now let's get to some questions.
I guess so.
Let's see. We actually got some different people asking questions this week.
Yeah, it's getting more diverse.
I know. I'm going to I already know what I want to do as the first one. From my good pal Pinky Rose. If you two had an epic battle to the death, who would win? How? Break it down for us. Oh, I think we all know who would win in a death battle between you and me.
Do we know?
Yeah. Oh, well, why don't you tell me? I want to hear yours first, Mr. Psychopath. Break it down. How do you think this situation will happen?
We have the winner, who would win because of their physical superiority due to intense training and yeah, then they would do some moves which will totally overcome the loser, and that's how they win.
Oh. It froze for a little bit.
Okay.
So I stopped at intense training.
Oh yeah, and thanks to the intense training, the winner is able to overcome the loser, and that's how they win.
Yeah, but you didn't say who would win.
Yeah, the winner, obviously.
But you have to give a name, Maximilian.
Okay, if you would demand it, then it is Maximilian who wins. Fine.
What? No. Okay. Are you twisting my words like a pretzel?
You just declared that Maximilian is a winner, and I
did not.
I will just go along with it.
That.
I will not disagree. So fine.
I did not declare that at all.
Well, if we are talking about an actual physical battle, you punched me how many times in the stomach, and who got actually away from it being hurt?
Well, okay, the thing is, we discovered at EQLA that if I punch a little bit higher, I can actually hurt you.
Yeah, if I stand still and I'm like, okay, punch me in the stomach. Poof! Wee, this was a little bit higher. This was my solar plexus.
Yeah, but we also have the fact that I'm nice to you, so I don't try to hurt other parts of your body. But now, if this is a death battle, I can actually do that. And you have a very long and slender neck that I could squeeze.
You know what? I would just kick you in the balls, and then when you go down.
I don't have balls.
What?
I don't have balls.
Did you lose them at some point, or?
Well, I'm a girl, so I've never had them.
Well, I'm not sure I can follow.
Girls don't have balls.
But.
Who have been your previous girlfriends that have balls?
I don't know. I was usually occupied with other things when I got to see them naked. But where do you kick girls then if they don't have balls? Where's the weak spot? Where is the built-in weak spot?
I guess you could kick them in the boobs. It hurts when you punch someone in the boob.
That's a bit high, depending on the height of the person.
You can kick high, and I'm short.
I can. Yeah, I mean, I can kick my own body height, but body length, but still.
Well, you could always just punch me in the boob, because that can work.
Okay, if you want me to, fine.
No, I don't.
You literally just said you can always punch me in the boob. Like, okay,
no,
if this is a thing you enjoy.
I'm a masochist, so maybe I would, but who knows? But, like...
This turned very awkward, and we are not yet at the end of the show.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to explain logistics. See, how I envision this death battle happening is that I would kick you in the back of your knees, because I know that's your weak spot.
This is everybody's weak spot, kicking them in the back of the knees.
Well, you also have loose kneecaps, so it would be extra worse for you.
At least until a few weeks ago, go to work by bike, which is like over 30 minutes ride. I dare to say that my leg muscles are by now capable of holding my kneecaps in place. So.
Yeah, but if I could kick you, I have strong legs. If I could kick you hard enough in the back of the knees, then I would have you pinned down, and then I would just choke you until your lights went out.
Very easy. Before you can kick me in the back of the knees, you need to get behind me. So all I need to do is turn with you, so you are not behind me. Then you can't kick me in the back of the knees. Easy as that.
I feel like this would lead to like a half hour of us turning around each other.
And in the meantime, and the problem is you need to come close in order to have a quicker way around me. But the moment you get too close, I punch you in the boob, because you just told me that this is your weak spot.
See, the thing is, I'm very soft and small, so everything is my weak spot. You would definitely win in a death battle. I would be dead. I'm not going to
if it is just a physical battle, that is.
if it's a physical battle, and let's make it tamer. If it's who can pin down who first, you would still win.
But I mean, we could still, I mean, a death battle can be a lot of things. So, for example, if we have like a death race, we have those cars with all the weapons in it, then it would be a different thing. Then again, I actually have a driver's license, you don't, so I would still win.
Yeah, but I also have reckless abandon, so I could also be a great Mad Max Fury Road driver, just press the gas and go.
So, yeah, I mean, we probably need a better setup for different lasers. I demand lasers in this fight.
I mean, the only kind of context Pinky Rose gave is a gif from Seinfeld of them having like one of those sissy fights. So that's the only thing that
I should have put this on screen now, shouldn't I?
Yeah, in all honesty, this would probably end up being our death battle.
Probably.
I can never really hurt this guy. I like him too much.
That's
and I have a feeling that Max would have some reservation with killing me, right?
I'm mostly sociopath, so.
You would have no reservation with killing me?
If it's me or you.
But this is just like someone's like, oh, have a death battle, but we don't need to. This is a optional thing.
Yeah. That's good. So less murdering each other. It's a good development.
Okay. You want to ask the next question?
I guess so. Let's see. If a UFO landed by Chuggle Debuggle, if a UFO landed and you two, as the ambassadors of Earth, got to ask the aliens one question each, what would they be? Or it be, whatever, the question.
Okay, interesting. Why would you come here? We have nothing. I'm sorry, I would always ask, if aliens have more advanced things than we do, why would you come here? We have nothing to offer.
I mean, you have seen War of the Worlds and Independence Day. It's called harvesting. I would probably be like, how's your Wi-Fi? Can I come with you?
Do you have internet? How humanoid looking can you guys become?
Yeah, especially the ladies. But no. Important question before I join there on the epic space adventures. Guys, do you still have net neutrality? Topical!
Oh, topical! Okay, that was a good question. Next question. From Deaf Alchemist, what is the latest you have stayed up working on a project? I would say choose one from school, college, and whatever pet projects or personal hobbies you like. What's the longest you stayed up consistently to work on something?
5 minutes before. So
you were up all night?
So there was this presentation. And my team basically just sent in their cliff notes, and I have been like, yeah, I can make a presentation, and they have been a bit on the lazy side of things. So I put together a presentation, an A presentation, I should probably mention, because we got an A. And I put together a presentation, and I put on the finishing touches in class in the morning.
Oof. That's awful.
It was amazing. So one of my classmates who was with in the like, oh my god. When I'm like, yeah, I worked through the night, but I'm done now. She's like, and you see her like panicking, like, oh my god, why did you do this? Oh my god. Totally worth it.
Let's see. I'm trying to think school-wise. It should not take me long to remember. My school years are not that far behind me. I just repress everything because school sucked.
I guess I was a very atypical kid because even while in school, I didn't dislike school.
I didn't dislike school. I disliked the people in it.
Yeah, but in general,
I didn't like my classmates. That was
yeah,
just the
but
thing.
in
Classmates
general,
were
your
dumb.
school time, the cliche is that while you are in school, you hate it. It's the worst thing ever, with all, including activities, people, and so on. People don't liking school, like having not a good time. And
I
then
have very
when
obvious reasons to why school was not good for me.
I know, but the cliche is that they hate it while they are there, and 10 years later down the line, they are like, oh, so nostalgic, oh, back then. And when you're in school, you have also adults who tell you like, oh, it was actually such a good time, enjoy it while you have it, it will only go downhill from here. And I liked school already while I was there, so I was always weird. Anyways, you have an idea, one project, long working.
Okay, so I guess this was, this probably was the longest for school. 2 days straight, where it wasn't exactly a school project, there was this big state test that was going to happen. And this is something that actually affected your report card grade too. And it was in biology class or something. And my thing was, I was the best student in biology. I was always great at science. The class in particular I was in was one of the lowest scoring classes when it came to science and stuff. So what I did is that every day for 3 hours after school, I would hold tutoring to help these people study and get everything done. And this is the one reason why my teachers thought that I would become a teacher. I made syllabuses and figured out and did all this stuff. And I did this for 2 days, for an entire week, but for the first 2 days, I just stayed up at night to get everything done because I actually had to grade papers. I was legit being a teacher.
Huh. Which probably is a perfect segue to the next question. By Nightfall 32, Keyframe, why do you stay up very late? It's almost 1 a.m.
Oh, that's probably referencing when I put up the thing of asking for questions.
12 hours ago, yeah.
Yeah. Look, of all reasons for why I stay up late, I basically have 3. 1, the people I talk to the most are in another time zone.
Yeah, British Ninja is very inconsistent that way. Or inconsiderate.
Yeah, totally. 2, I have medically wise, I have insomnia. I have trouble sleeping whether I want to or not. I like to, my dad used to joke that me and him had the exact opposite problems because he had narcolepsy, so he would fall asleep all the time. I have insomnia. I don't fall asleep. And it's mostly, my brain has so many thoughts running through its head, it's too overwhelmed to sleep. I have to do something strenuous beforehand, or I have to basically get all my energy out for me to actually fall asleep soundly. And that's very hard because I have a lot of energy at the same time not having a lot of energy. I'm a mess medical wise. And the third reason is I just tend to work better at night. I'm a night owl. When the sun goes down, my creativity goes up. And that seems to be a common thing for artists. I don't know why, but it just does. So, yeah, that's why I stay up so late.
So, I'm just going up the list, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Iris Prism asked, what is your favorite art style from Renaissance, and who is your favorite artist?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know how to answer that question. I guess my favorite artist, I don't have a particular favorite artist of all time. I just like artists and I like art styles. So, and if you ask me what's my favorite period of art, Renaissance is not my favorite period of art. I don't like that kind of artwork. I mean, it's nice looking, but I'm not a realism person. I respect the skill, but I'm not someone who will immediately go to realism as my favorite form of art. I mean, look at my artwork. I'm not a realism person. I like cartoons. I like pop art. I like graphic art. I like things that look really, that have a lot of colors and pop. Like the closest thing to realism is like those 80s movie posters. Kind of like what the Kung Fury one looks like.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I guess.
I don't know.
I guess for me it's rather similar. I don't have. I only have a bunch of artists that I like, but I also barely look at older stuff. I'm more into current stuff, but then again, many artists I follow. So, which also probably answers the question. Yeah, that I'm also art period wise. I'm pretty much in. More modern stuff. I mean, you see what is hanging behind me. It's usually like I'm more interested in the content of of a picture in the first place, and then an art style I like. So it's the thing of the motive and then the style. I mean, we see a range from kind of realistic with the Cola one to very cartoony. Then yeah, the 80s art style. More cartoony stuff again. So I mean, there's hanging more stuff around my room that you can't see because of the placement of my camera. So yeah. But that's the kind of stuff I hang up.
There's your answer. But Melanie or Wicked Disney 55 asks, what makes someone awkward?
Someone.
Ooh, this is the penultimate question.
First of all, being on this show.
Well,
which so far make the two of us, British Ninja, Toon Critic, and Yuri, awkward.
And Golden.
Oh, Golden! Yeah, when I forced you to have somebody here.
Yeah.
Wait, who was?
They are all awkward, but we are the awkwardest.
Yeah. Who was your replacement again?
Emerald.
Was it Emerald for the awkward cast?
Yes.
Ah.
We've used Emerald as our substitute teacher for multiple things.
Yeah, because in Gaming in Ties, he also was a substitute.
Exactly. Poor Emerald. He's our understudies.
Yeah, I guess it could be worse than being the understudies for all the cool kids on Twitch.
That's true. But, well, that's one way to be awkward is be on the show. You get some residual awkwardness from being in our chat and watching this on YouTube and sharing it and subscribing and, getting notified for whenever we stream.
Then you can, in general, be awkward by joining certain fandoms.
Yeah, like...
I mean, I would say one of the most awkward is probably the Miraculous Ladybug fandom. That makes you very awkward.
It does, especially when you're watching it and you're like, I'm not gonna like this show. This is kind of just silly. And then you suddenly realize, oh God, we're at the end of season 1 and we're coming up with theories. No.
That's awkward.
Yeah. Also, watching some of the episodes from season 2 and. Because Lauren showed me some episodes when we were at dinner last night, and she was like, have you seen the episode where a baby gets akumatized and turns into a giant? And I'm like, excuse me?
I need to watch more episodes. I watched 2 or 3. I watched 2 or 3 of season 2 so far, but not more.
It's not. I mean, with a show like this, is it really spoilers? Because it's not really plot development into the lore. It's just what was the villain, and it was literally just a giant baby, and it's not the thing that Hawkmoth wanted. He didn't want to akumatize the baby. It was a complete accident, and you could see Hawkmoth get annoyed throughout the episode, being like, why?
Well, if the one person in all of Paris who happens to be annoyed this day is a baby, which is very easy because babies get annoyed every day, it's surprising that this didn't happen before.
I mean, the closest thing we got was fucking Manon. No one likes Manon. But, so... That's how you can be awkward. Join the Miraculous Ladybug fandom as a grown person.
Or be still a Sherlock fan. Because
Wait, is that something that makes it awkward?
by now, yes. In the first season was cool. Second season, people were still like, okay. No. Second season was still there. Everybody was still hyped for it. Third season was the one where people were starting to raise questions. And the fourth season is just not even Cucumber Band can save it.
Here's the keyframe personal advice to be awkward. Be such a fan of Scooby-Doo that people, for 10 different people, separate people who probably don't know each other, link you the Jello Apocalypse, every Scooby-Doo villain plot.
I was so close from doing it, and I was like, I liked it, it's in my Twitter feed, she will see it.
I already liked the video, but then 10 separate people, like Sketchy, and then Kichi, and then Toon, and then just general fans were linking it, being like, look what they did, Chrissy, and I'm like, I've already watched it. And I mean, I liked the video. I don't agree with him with some of those choices that he picked for the best movies and the best movies. Most of the worst movies, though, I can agree. But, like, the best movies, the only one I really agreed with was the Scooby-Doo and Kiss movie, because that movie is amazing as what it is. It is something that I'm like, even if you're not a fan of Scooby-Doo, even if you're not a fan of Kiss, you need to watch this movie. It's the best crossover that never needed to happen. I say that with full sincerity.
Do we go 7 for 7 and do all the questions?
Why not? Even though
two more.
That was a penultimate question. So
two more left. So
yeah, let's do 7. Denim asks, what's your favorite thing to cook or bake? I like baking sweets. Even though I'm dieting and stuff, I have an extreme sweet tooth, but that's the best part about having people who also have sweet tooths living in your house, so they can eat all of it, but you can still enjoy the process of cooking.
That's a weird thing, I guess.
I like the process of making cookies. Cookies is my absolute favorite thing to bake. I like the process of mixing things together and making the dough and baking it and the smells and everything. I don't have to eat it. I just like the process of making something. I'm an artist. My whole job is making things. So it's one of the things that I enjoy doing, and then seeing people be satisfied with it. So sweets, baked goods, that's my favorite thing.
For me, I have my two favorite things. One thing is, when it's about actual cooking, is my rice pan. Just rice with a lot of a bunch of stuff thrown in there, and the stuff, whatever I throw in there, kind of decides what kind of rice pan it becomes. Like a bunch of vegetables and so on. Just all throw it together with a bit of meat and soy sauce on top and some spices. And yeah, I like it. Most of the time turns out good. No, but when it comes to actual baking, it's...
you barely use your oven, so it's
true, but back in the day when there was some reason to bake a cake, I had my one cake I always returned to, which was also very self-serving because it was my favorite cake, period. Haselnusskranz, so basically hazelnut hazelnut ring. Or like not actually a ring, but it's more like a croissant, like a half moon.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Okay, and it's basically, you have a layer of dough of this very delicious. The dough itself is already like a kind of dough that I very much like. I'm not sure if it is. It's not sand dough, but some very sweet and delicious bright colored dough. Then you put a second layer on top of it, which is a hazelnut cream. Then you roll all of it, shape it in this moon form, and then you bake it. And it's actually a cake that is not a dry cake, but a pretty juicy cake, probably due to the fact that the general dough is not a too dry one, and obviously you have this in-between layer, which is very muddy, but it's not even dough, just the hazelnut stuff with
You're making me really hungry. I stop.
It's an absolutely brilliant thing. The sad thing, I need to get the recipe. My mom still has the recipe, I assume.
I need you to make that for me. I want it.
Oh, what do we have here? Yuri, let's see. Is this actually... It's getting close. It's not... Oh, this is an actual ring. Somebody made it turn into an actual ring. But I'm not too happy with this particular one he linked here. Because here's the problem what's missing. The hazelnut kranz I make actually looks a lot more like an actual snail in the middle. This one looks all over the place, and this layer is far too thin. It needs to be half and half. So, hashtag not my hazelnusskranz. But it gives you an idea, especially the crust looks pretty spot on.
I want it. I want it.
It's very delicious. My favorite cake back then, and if I would eat more cake nowadays or would be able to get my hands on it more often, it probably would still be.
Oh, God. Last question. Getting away from food.
Nom nom nom. By Samantha Amber Powell, also known as Highland Wolf Mage 5. Who do you think would make a great alicorn? Oh, god damn it, we fell for an MLP question. Damn it.
I would.
Deadpool would.
Look like an alicorn if you took off the wings, so...
True. Deadpool would.
Deadpool. Princess Deadpool, one of the best cosplays to ever grace pony conventions, who's my friend Trevor. Oh, he apparently could get community guests from being Princess Deadpool.
What?
He's gone to that many cons that Princess Deadpool has become like a staple.
Let's see. Is this him? I believe that's him. Yeah, I believe this looks like him. Is this him? Is this Trevor?
Yes, that's Princess Deadpool.
And people wonder why other people cringe about bronies. Anyways.
Oh, but the thing is, he also has a very Deadpool-y voice. Not like he sounds like Ryan Reynolds, but he has like that... He has kind of that wacky kind of... Like what you hear Deadpool sounds like in the cartoons.
It's true. It's true.
So he actually makes it work really well.
And apparently he does video reactions as Princess Deadpool.
I don't mind that if they're funny.
No. I'm just seeing it on.
Yeah, I'm seeing them as the thumbnails.
Yeah, I'm seeing it in Google search now. Like here, he apparently does video reactions. It's a thing now.
I found a picture of him being carried by one of those Spartan MLP things from Fireteam Harmony.
Oh, that's pretty cool. But yeah, apparently he is now a thing. But you had a different last question?
No, I said no. I didn't have a different last question.
I mean, we could be nice to the person who asked us by... oh no, it was just... Yeah. Somebody once again did not use the hashtag but reply to us.
Oh.
Then again, it's an anime question again. I mean, at this point we probably have answered favorite anime multiple times.
We should just put it in the description of your fucking channel about our favorite anime, so stop asking. Like, on the Twitch channel, it's like, My Hero Academia, Sailor Moon, and Space Dandy. Stop asking.
Okay, 3 for me. Wait, did you mention Hero Academia?
What?
Did you mention Hero Academia as one of your top 3? Earlier you have been like, oh yeah, it's not that bad, and now you are mentioning it one of your top 3. Make up your mind, lady.
Maybe I'm just hiding it so I don't have to join the trash fandom that is the Boku fandom.
Ooh.
Where everyone is hot over a fucking frog chick.
It's weird. It's pretty weird.
Her design is not, like, maybe body-wise fine, but her face, why? Her mouth is like half the size of her face.
I know. I mean, I believe I commented on it on Tumblr.
She's cute. She's cute, but I wouldn't say I've seen some particular art of her, and I'm like, okay, comes a point. Especially when they start doing shit with the tongue. It's like, no, okay. No, there comes a point, my friend.
Yeah, I would say our current conversation is becoming a bit awkward again.
Oh boy.